Good morning. Happy first day of school. Today is the first day of school. It is August 15th. I just got here and I am just kind of working on getting set up. I went to Starbucks. So I have my chai tea, and then I also got a sandwich. And then other than that, I'm about to head over to the kindergarten classroom to go and help support my students. So I just wanted to say good morning and welcome you guys to this week's vlog. So my students, I'm going to talk to my kindergarten teacher as well as one of my other pre-K teachers. I have a couple of activities that I'm going to do with them. So the first thing is I printed these out and I'm going to take first day picture of kindergarten and pre-K because I have one student pre-K and then the rest of my students are in kindergarten. So I'm going to take pictures of them. I want to kind of create a portfolio for them of things they do here in my classroom. So I have this. Then I am going to read this book called All Are Welcome. And we're going to read this together. After we read this book, I have these puzzle pieces, and each one of my students is going to get one. They're going to color it. I'm going to write their name, and then I'm going to put it outside on my bulletin board. It's really big, and fortunately enough, a TA was able to help me out to create that. So I just need to put this up once they are done decorating it. And then the other thing I have is this right here, the student information. I'm going to ask these questions, more of like a conversation. I'm not just going to say, what's your favorite thing about school? I'm going to talk to them as they're coloring and just kind of fill this out as I go. So those are the things that I have planned for the first day. Some of this I might not be able to get to, but that's okay. I can get to it tomorrow. The students are majorly in their class, so I will be doing a lot of inclusion support, and then as we get our schedule solidified, I will be pulling students and having more of a concrete lesson for those students. But I just wanted to show you what I have planned for the first day of school. Good morning. Happy Tuesday, day 2 of the first week of school. I am here. It's about 7 o'clock. I got here actually about 30 minutes ago. I have been working on my schedule. It has been one of those things that just needs to get done. I feel like I have the majority of my day planned out now. I feel a little bit more confident. It is a new role, still trying to figure out where I'm supposed to be, things like that. Right now, I am working on trying to come up with a SEL lesson. So let me flip you guys around and show you what my schedule is looking like and what I will be planning for. A lot of it is inclusion support and just doing inclusion for my students, making sure that they're being successful in their classrooms. There are a couple of times where I will be pulling students out. So right now, this is me. This is the other ECSE teacher, and then these are our aides. Right now we are currently sharing our aides with PE because they're needing extra support in PE. So they are sharing that load because the school that I'm at has not hired a TA for the district. For the school. So this is their schedule. I just basically put in specific times that are non-negotiables, and then the other teacher is going to develop that schedule for them. I'm going to have my planning period first thing in the morning. because my students are going to be doing inclusion time. They're eating breakfast, they're doing morning meeting. I feel that that was an appropriate time for me not to be in the classroom, because it is a slow start for the students and they just don't need as much support from me in the morning. I would typically like to have my planning time the same as the kindergarten teacher, because the majority of my students on my caseload are in that classroom. But with us only having one aide per day, it makes it really difficult to make sure that, for safety reasons, that there's 2 people in Miss V's class every day. So I decided to do my planning time in the morning, so except on Wednesdays. Wednesdays is PLC days. It's very important for me to be there, so that way I can make sure that I am on plan and on target with my students, and I know what my students are supposed to be learning. I'm gonna do a student check-in right after my planning time. So the plan is for me to do check-ins with my pre-K and kindergarten students, make sure that they don't need any assistance in any way, and then immediately afterwards I'm going to go in and help transition ECSE outside to recess, because Mrs. V has planning time during that time and there needs to be 2 people transitioning outside. And then after I transition them outside, I'm going to do inclusion support for kinder. I'm going to go into their classroom, make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to. It's a literacy block for them. And so I'm going to go and do inclusion support with my students. I'm going to pull them out immediately after to do SEL support. And so with this plan, my plan is to pull my students out for that behavior SEL. And then I'm going to go into the ECSE classroom. Since my classroom is obviously not set up for ECSE, I am going to go into Mrs. V's classroom, so that way they get an extra hand if someone needs to take a break or whatever the case might be. That will happen at that time, but then I will also be able to take my students that need that extra support in the classroom in with them, so that way they're around peers and I can help support in any way. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do in this block. It's a 25-minute block. I still have to figure that out. Immediately afterwards, I am going to go back to ECSE to support them, because my aide for the 2 classrooms is going to go and support kinder. So my plan is to pull some students that need to go into ECSE support, and I can do some data or things like that in the classroom. So then that way this gets done. And then the inclusion support kinder is going to be doing some inclusion support for these times. On Wednesdays, I have planning time right here. So there's that. Immediately after that, I have my lunch. And then I go back into ECSE to support nap time. So then that way each teacher is able to take a lunch break, and then they're going to be helping out with nap. Just for safety reasons, we just feel like there needs to be 2 people in the classroom at all times. Then I'm going to be doing some inclusion support with my students. After inclusion support from specials, I am going to pull students out and pull them into this classroom in here. So we'll have a lesson in the classroom, SEL behavior support. And then I have this block here that I still kind of need to figure out. I haven't figured that out yet. And then it's time for dismissal. Hey guys, I guess this is going to be like my update area. All right, so I made it to lunch. The schedule seems to be working out really well. There was just a couple of hiccups that I didn't account for, but they hired a substitute teacher to help support ECSE in the self-contained area, and that seems to be working out great. I also got, I think, one more student on my caseload plus a potential other student that might be put on my caseload. So now I'm looking at about 4, possibly 5 students on my caseload. So we will see how all of that pans out. I have my schedule pretty much done. There are a couple of things that I am waiting on just to ensure that the schedule does work out really well. I started looking into SEL curriculum, and then I think, if it's correct, I'm going to be teaching pull out for literacy and math for one of my students. So we will see, but I'm gonna go ahead and eat lunch. Hey guys, it's in the afternoon. It's the end of the day. I wanted to show you guys what I did with my students today during the SEL lesson. This week, I'm just doing more like getting to know my students and just kind of really practicing how to sit down for story time. So that is a skill that we are going to be practicing a lot. And so today I worked on that. And then we also worked on table activities and how to clean up from one center to the next center and asking to get moved. So we worked on that when they were in my classroom. We're still trying to solidify schedules. I thought it was good to go this morning, and then, you know, we were playing it out today, and I was like, oh, I need to do this. And there is a student that is on my caseload that I need to be pulling out. And unfortunately, with what we have, it's not possible. So I'm having to readjust my schedule so I can make that work. Fortunately, this week is more about getting to know our students and not so much about like the academic part of it, but we really need to get that down so that way it works smoothly for all of the students in this. So let me show you. So I read Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus, and so what we did today is, as I was reading it, if the students were not sitting down the way they were supposed to, I would stop and say, uh-oh, we need to sit on our bottom, and then I would show them a visual. Then what I did was I had these out at each table. So I had different activities out on each table, and I let them play with each bucket. But before they were able to move on to the next bucket or the next thing that they wanted to play with, they had to clean up and say all done, and they would move on to the next thing. So we kind of practiced being able to move from center to center, because that's something that we really need to practice and get that skill down. So that's what I did today. In addition to pulling my students out, I did inclusion time with my students, and we just worked on really like being able to sit down and look at the teacher when they're talking, and being able to just follow directions. I'm going to be printing out some visual supports, and then I think I'm going to print out some like token boards for my students to just really get them to work up that skill, because they're kind of struggling with being able to sit down. It's kindergarten, but I feel like they just need that extra incentive and extra time. They seemed really excited when I said, okay, it's time to go to my classroom, and they were like, yay. So I'm excited that they want to come in here. But maybe that can be like one of like a reward or something for my token boards. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and work on getting that ready for the week. And I think I might print those out tonight and get them laminated. So I just want to let you guys know that was day 2. Tomorrow is Wednesday, hump day. Half of the week is over. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. We made it halfway through the week. Well, not all the way. And I had to stop by Starbucks. So I have my coffee ready. Love my little iced coffee koozie, and make sure that my desk stays dry and there's not water all over my desk. So ready to tackle the day. So today is PLC day. we are going to talk about our TEKS. So I'm in the state of Texas, so we call our standards TEKS. So we're going to go over next week's TEKS, and I am also looking into making sure that I have curriculum for SEL, and then re-looking at my schedule, because it's not, some of it's working but not all of it's working, so I'm gonna have to readjust the schedule. And then also too, I need to make sure that I am making sure that everyone gets the services that they need, and so gonna have to make some adjustments. So I am here, it's bright and early. Today I carpooled with my husband, which is really nice because he works like 3 minutes from here, from my school. And so we decided to carpool today, which means that I got here extra early. Beginning September, I had to cancel my gym membership and then get a new gym membership. I am going to go and work out in the morning and then come to school right after, trying to get back on the health journey. So yeah, I just wanted to say good morning, and we're here. It's Wednesday. Okay, so I am fortunate enough to have a TeachTown account at the school district that I'm at. So let me flip you guys around. I think I found a really good thing for me to use in class. It helps me lesson plan. And so I think I'm going to begin this next week once we get this schedule solidified. But I'm going to be pulling some of my students for 30 minutes of social skills instruction time, SEL instruction time, and this is perfect. So let me show you what I have found and what I'm going to be using to be able to teach. Okay, so for the first week, this is a curriculum. You can come over here and say, for instance, you want to focus on a specific skill, you can do that here. So right now, this is following directions, and then it has different skills that we can ask them to do while they are following directions. So the first thing that we're going to focus on during the first week is listen when the teacher is talking. My students seem to kind of struggle with that. So this is the first thing that we're going to do. If you come over here to the resources, it gives you a lesson plan and worksheets and things that you can use for your instruction. There's also this video here that has a scenario of basically the skill that we are teaching the students. So there's information on this side as well to kind of help us be able to guide what we need to for our lesson. So once I get the lesson plan started, I will show you what I planned, but I'm really excited to be able to use this tool for lesson planning my SEL lessons. Hey y'all! So it's the end of the day. I am here at my husband's job to pick him up. So I didn't get to kind of debrief with you guys. This schedule is such a headache. Just when I think that everything is like good to go, boom. Oh, you forgot to account for this. So, weird noise. So, I redid the schedule, I think, for like the 6th time now. It's just really difficult when there are 2 ECSE classrooms and there should be 2 paras or teacher assistants, and we only have 1 to share between 2 classes. And although I don't have like a set classroom, I do a lot of inclusion support when I'm doing my planning time or when I'm doing pull out for certain students. There still needs to be support in the classroom, but their support is in the other ECSE classroom. And so it leaves the kindergarten teacher basically by herself with students who really need that extra support, and it just makes things really difficult. And I also need my planning time, I need lunch, and then it's just a lot of logistics happening, and a lot of things. Like during my lunch, my kinders are they're in specials or they're in PE, and they need that extra support because the other kindergarten teacher is also gone. So if I do inclusion support when the students are in the classroom, if I do my planning time, then they don't get that support. So it's really difficult. Hopefully things will get better tomorrow. I feel like we came up with a new schedule and we'll implement that. And when they say scheduling is tough, man, it is tough. Today I am going to work on printing up visuals because my students really need that. So I'm going to be printing up visuals when I get home, and then I'm also going to be printing up like first then supports, things like that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and begin lesson planning for next week because that needs to start happening. I'm excited to be teaching a little bit, but yeah, just wanted to give you guys an update. Good morning, happy Thursday, one more day. So it is 6 o'clock in the morning. It's 6:12 to be exact, and contract hours is at 7:30. So I have a little while. My plan is to get things prepared for today as far as things that my students need. Let me show you what I printed out and what I got ready last night. So I do need to do some cutting this morning. There's a few more things that I need to laminate. Fortunately enough, my sweet friend Eva got me a laminator to keep here at school because I have one at home. So my plan was to have one at home in case I needed to laminate anything, but then my sweet friend got me one for my classroom. So I'm able to laminate here if I need to. All right. So let me show you what I've created and what I brought. First thing I brought is a clipboard. I am going to be using it to hold my schedule until I get accustomed to my new schedule. I reworked it. Hopefully we're gonna implement it today. Hopefully it'll work out and it will be good. So I'm gonna use my clipboard to bring that along. And then when I get a chance, I'm going to order a like fanny pack or something because I'm hardly ever in my classroom. There's gonna be a couple times where I'm in here, but the majority of the day I'm in inclusion, doing inclusion support. And so I need something to be able to carry because I always set my phone down or I set something down and then I have to go and hunt for it. That's what I did yesterday. I set my phone down because I was supporting a student in specials, and then I got back to class and realized I forgot my phone. So yes, so I am going to order something like that. I was looking into like a nurse fanny pack, and I can like put pins and things like that I need when I begin taking data. So things like that. I feel like that might be good. We'll see. All right, so the thing that I created are these. Let me get a sticky because I need to cover, they have names on them, and to protect my students' privacy, I am going to cover up their names. Okay, so I created these I'm working for, and then like a token board and how they can earn tokens. I got this off of Especially Education. She's my best friend. I love her. If you are a special education teacher, I highly recommend that you look her products up. They are amazing. They are so useful. I love all the products that she makes. I was originally going to be using Made For Me Literacy in my classroom for life skills, but they have plenty of things that can be used across any type of special education areas that you teach. So I highly recommend. So I created these, so I need to cut these out and then I need to put Velcro on them. So I'm going to be working on that. And then I also printed out and cut out these, what they're working for. So I am going to just cut, I'm going to cut all of them out, but I'm only going to allow them to choose maybe between 2 or 3 because this is a new concept for them. And so I'm going to have to teach them what it means, how to use it. So I am going to cut these out and get these prepared. I am also thinking about getting some small binders for the students and creating kind of like a PEX binder for them. I feel like there are a couple of students that just need it for extra support, and then a couple of students that just really, we need to focus on like carpet time, and then other students that need it throughout the entire day. So I'm gonna prep those this morning, and then I also printed, and I need to see if I can find it, some visual supports. I need to print, laminate, not print, I already got them printed. I need to cut them and laminate them and put them on a binder ring to put on my lanyard, so that way I can show them a visual, because I do notice that when I'm doing inclusion support, I'm constantly sit down, and I want to eliminate as much verbal. I want more of a visual for them. So then that way they're not trying to talk to me, because I do notice that they're trying to talk to me while the teacher's talking. I'm like, shh, shh. So I need to get those printed and ready to go. So that is what I'm going to be working on for the next like hour. But I wanted to let you guys know what I am doing. Okay, so let me show you what is on these things. I created binders because that's all I had on hand. Teacher budget here, so I'm making do with what I have. So I created these binders. I did cover up, there is a name of the student here along with a picture of the student. So I did cover that up for privacy purposes. But what I'm going to do is they are going to choose what they are working for. And since this is the beginning of me introducing this, I only provided them with 3 different options. So then that way, as time goes on, I will be adding more to what they can earn. My plan is to eventually switch this out from a binder, a clipboard into a binder, so that way they have more options. But for right now, we're going to begin with this and get them comfortable with using this system. Their tokens are up at the top, and then their rewards is right here. And then I also printed up things that they need to do to be able to earn the tokens. So for right now, I put listen, sit, and safe hands. And then down here, I just put a little how I feel, and then they can point to how they are feeling during a particular time. So this is just a quick thing that I created with the help of Especial Education. So I will be using this in the classroom to help support my students. So I didn't get to say good morning, but it's still kind of morning. But I wanted to let you guys know I had a meeting this morning about schedule, so it's worked out till the 31st. And then after that, I will be getting my own teacher assistant. And guess what? I have to move classrooms. My caseload is getting really big. I have about 8 students on my caseload, so I will be moving classrooms, which means that I'm gonna have to take everything down that I have already did and move it. It doesn't have to happen right away. This classroom that I'm currently in is going to be my classroom. So let me kind of flip you guys around and show you what the classroom looks like. Okay, so when you walk in, there is a small group table here. I love that. There are cabinets up here. There are resources up at the top. I don't know what's in each cabinet. It looks like it's pretty much filled, so I might have to go through each cabinet. Whoa. Figure out what I need, get it all organized. Oh, I'm gonna have oh, this one's kind of empty, so that's nice. This here. Oh, okay. And I can see myself. Yay. Well, standing on my tiptoes though. All right. Looks like there's a restroom over here in this area. There's a kindergarten classroom right next door over there. There is a sink and a beautiful window over here. Oh, this is gonna be so nice. Okay. There is tables over here and chairs. Looks like there is some more things over here. Oh, look, there's a sensory table and some large books, and it looks like a kitchen area. All right, so I have my work cut out. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do, but I will be coming in here at some point and setting up the classroom. So just want to let you guys know what was happening.